set of skills. Every one of you matters. And today, like I said, motivation may be more of a talk today than normal. But I want you to know this. Everybody always sees that I'm always either wearing a Marine Corps shirt or a Legal Shield shirt. You know why I do that? Because they're the two companies I love with my entire heart. If I had a shirt that had a picture of my daughter on it, I'd probably be wearing it. Why? Because I love my daughter. I love my family. I love the things that I do. And I believe in each and everything. So it's all a big part of everything we do is belief, okay? I had somebody saying, your mentor ceases to become your mentor when they no longer have to tell you or coach you, and now you become the coach. That's true. In the Marine Corps, you start out as a private thinking you know everything, and you don't know diddly squat. Okay, but you're motivated. You're like, I'm a Marine. And all of a sudden you become that PFC, and I'm like, I'm a Marine. Yeah, I love being a Marine Corps. Oh my God. And then all of a sudden you become a Lance Corporal. He's a Marine. Because we get worn out. We call it terminal Lance Corporal because Lance Corporals feel like they're in that position for so long. They're not. They're just like everybody else, but it's that one position that they cannot get motivated in. And it's really, really funny because we go on all these runs, boots and utes. We fire as many weapons. To give you an idea, I'll tell you a little secret that every branch knows. Eventually, you're looking for a hole to put your ammunition in so you don't have to clean your rifle. Okay? So in other words, everything we do in life, you're not always going to be motivated. I get that. But if all of a sudden there's a beer involved, everything, I can get motivated for a beer. Or if there's a woman involved, I can get motivated for a woman. It's not about being a Marine anymore. It's about the little things. But then all of a sudden you become the first NCO and you become a corporal and it starts all over again, that motivation. You're like, wait a minute, now you have a different eyesight for the military. Now this is like everyday life, okay? And I'm going to get to that in just a second. I just want you to bear with me. Just give me a chance, okay? Give me a chance. Bear with me. Hold the thought process. So now all of a sudden you're a non-commissioned officer. You get to wear the blood stripe. I know you don't understand that, but military will. And now all of a sudden, you're an E4, and for the first time, you get a little more pay, you're doing a little good, but you earn that position. Then you made it through being that terminal Lance Corporal, now you earn that position. Now you become a sergeant, an E5, and you're proud. You carry yourself high. Now you have jobs and responsibilities, but the people that were teaching you before are gone. Okay? But the problem is, there was always somebody ahead of you. There's always going to be somebody superior. There's always going to be somebody senior to you. But one day, they're going to be gone. It's the old Nanny McPhee. When you don't want me, but need me, I'm going to be there. The Nanny Fee. When you no longer need me, but want me, I'm going to be gone. That's how it is in the military. That's how it is in the Marine Corps. And that's how it is in jobs. That's how it is in network marketing. That's how it is everywhere else. The ones you need are going to be there. You have to seek them out and search them. And you know what? They're going to help you because they know you don't understand. They know that it takes time. It takes consistency. If you just are there 1 minute, gone the next, they're not going to work with you. They can sense you coming a mile away if you really have no heart for whatever it is you're doing. But if you seek them out, eventually you're there. And every time you go to these conventions and every time you go to a meeting and a membership or whatever else, you're looking next to them. Now, Rich and Brian are two of the greatest people in the world I know. Brian Carruthers and Rich Ellerman. They're my mentors. I tell you who my mentors is, but my biggest mentor is my father. Okay, my dad. And another, like I said, I watch the people who my daughter feels as mentors. I know if she don't call them mentors, she calls them family and teachers and stuff like that. But thinking back, when I got into wrestling, the biggest reason why I got into wrestling was by one of my history teachers, Mr. Frigo. How does that do anything? It all connects, don't worry. Mr. Frigo encouraged me to join the wrestling team. And I did. And I had a lot of anxiety. I had a lot of aggression, and I needed to get out there. But he was a mentor to me. Now, what happened 3 years later? I have no clue where he's at anymore. But do I still think of his guidance and education? Yes, I do. And all the teachers, one of my first grade teacher was Mrs. Doris Ann Dolan, probably one of the greatest first grade teachers ever. Okay? But they're no longer around. Why? Because we no longer need them. We went to the second and third grade, okay? I can tell you every single teacher I've ever had because they had some kind of inspiration on me, whether I liked them or not. I did have one teacher that she did an outstanding job, but her and I just did not see eye to eye. And we're talking about 20, 30 years later. I'm at an event that I had, and she was the one that was serving just because she volunteered to do something, not because of anything else. They're a farm family, everything else, but she was my teacher. Her and I did not see eye to eye. And to the day, I always had this one story and everything else. And she was the one that served me, and I'm like, oh, crud. But you know what's funny is, even with that one story, I still remembered everything she taught me. I can tell you all my gym teachers. Now, getting back to what I was saying. As you're moving forward in life, Your motivation is determined on how well you are a sponge and absorb the information around you, how you absorb the people around you, how you treat people, how you feel. Even if you have to fake it sometimes to get motivated, you can do it. It's all about your experiences that you had in life. If you have no experience, I just wished a buddy of mine, and people will not understand this, but I wished him more obstacles in his life. I wished more challenges in his life. Why? The more challenges we have, the more we can overcome, the more we can do. I am offering you, I dare each and every one of you, I'm offering each and every one of you to add more challenges in your life. And don't take the easy challenges like off a Nintendo game. It's like playing level 1 over and over and over again, even though you've already been all the way to level 8. You go back to level 1 to see how many tokens you can get, knowing you're not going to die. And if you die, it's because you chose to die in Mario Brothers. So in other words, life is like a video game. Your motivation, if you keep going back to level 1, you're never going to learn all the little tricks, all the little gossips. And eventually you got to change games. Go to Zelda. Yep, I'm going there. The whole point is this. You need to keep moving forward. You need to have as many obstacles in your way as possible. You need to go for the subjects that scare you and that are hard. Why? Because it's only going to better you for the better. It's only going to get your motivations up. When I tell people, when you go in for a job, and your first job when you're 16 years old is, say you're going to go into a fast food restaurant. What do? You go in there, your moms and dads probably taught you how to do it, and aunt and uncle tell you how to do it, and you ask for, can I have an application, please? Great. That is your first steps into the working society. Can I have an application, please? You go and you fill out the application. Eventually, you're going to get the job. And then you work your way up in whatever it is you're doing, but you don't like it too much, so you want something else. So the next job that you go for is probably when you're in college or something. Now you learned a little trick. You learned that all those applications you turned in did not go through. They didn't go through at all. So now what you do is you learn to fill out a resume. And all of a sudden you're like, what the heck is a resume? Why do I need a resume? The reason why you need a resume is because you're growing up in life. You're actually getting into the workforce. You're going from $5.50, $7.50, $15 an hour to winning a little bit more money. So you start learning to write resumes. Now, a resume will be looked at 90% of the time first over an application. Okay? If you're going to go for a supervisor position, or if you're going to go once you're out of college and you're trying to get on with a big company, I promise you there's no such thing as an application. Because what happens is now you're going to go and if you want to get a welding job or something like that, they want to know what your skill set is. They want to know where you're coming from. They want to know what your background is. They want to know why they need to hire you and why they need to pay you the big bucks. And if they're paying you the big bucks, they want to know if they can depend on you to be there, trustworthy, and everything else. So you write out a huge resume, okay? It's kind of like if you want to go in business for yourself. Your first business will be a lemonade stand maybe, or selling cookies, or, maybe selling popcorn for Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts, selling cookies, and your parents are helping you. But eventually when you want to go in, you have to learn how to write a business plan, okay? The reason why you learn this is because you've grown up in the world, and it's motivating, and it's something you really, really want to do. But the reason why you do it, you might not like every aspect of it, but the overall goal oversees the pain it's going to take to get to it. In other words, you're willing to take it. If you want to go to state, you run harder. You wrestle harder. You play basketball harder. You have to learn to work as a team. You want something harder in life, then you keep working. You're going to fail. You're going to trip. You're going to fall. You're going to trip and you're going to fall. You're going to take one path, another path. Eventually, you're going to succeed and you no longer have to take that path anymore. But now you're on a new path. But you're not going to go back to that path. Why? You've already done it. You've been there. It's familiar. Some people get caught in the land of familiar, okay? And when you get caught in the land of familiar, you become an introvert. And you no longer want to move outside your box because you're comfortable there. Problem is, you have more potential. You have a mission to accomplish in your life. What that mission is, I don't know. But if you get motivated, you get out and keep moving, you'll find out. I can't tell you what your life is or what you're going through. I can tell you this. There is nothing in life you cannot overcome with hard work, determination, and with basically utilizing the tools you have around you. Okay? Tools don't cost money. It doesn't cost money to get ahead in life. Okay? All these people, they want to use that as an excuse. In some cases, I like to give the excuse of the Seminole tribe on the East Coast compared to some of the tribes on the West Coast. Okay? They now own all the Hard Rock cafes, and the other ones still try to live off the government. Now, is that good or bad? I don't know. But I'll tell you what, the people that worked harder are making more. The people that decided to do more are making more and they're going more places. You want to take that vacation. How are you going to get to that vacation? You want to get that new car. How are you going to get that new car? You want to do a new life journey. How are you going to get there? You want to backpack through Europe. What's your plan? What's your goal? Did you write them down? Okay. You got to get motivated every day and you got to find the things you want and you got to basically put it down and then what you got to do to get there. And you got to write it down. You got to write it down. You got to write it down. You got to read, write it down and do whatever it takes to get to your goals. That's what motivation is. And that's what I'm telling you today. Write stuff down. Make a plan. Don't just turn in an application anymore. We're beyond that. Now, it's all about the resume and the business plan. Now it's all about what can you bring to the table? What are you going to do? And each and every one of you matters. And each and every one of you makes a difference. And each and every one of you needs to get mad, get upset, get worried, and do whatever it takes to get you to moving. I promise you this. And you're going to hate this analogy, but I'm going to give it. Because I think in today's world, we're not mean enough to basically get the point across. Say your dreams aren't that great and you don't really have any motivation, okay? But you're a parent or you're a friend and somebody comes up to you and says you have to do something in a certain way and you're like, oh yeah, whatever. And then they put a gun to your head or your kid's head and said you either do it or they're dead. You got 30 seconds. How fast are you going to get accomplished what needs to be accomplished and to sort of save your life, your friends, family, your kids' lives, and everything else? I don't want to use that analogy, but it's the only thing that's going to get across to people. What would you do if somebody you loved's life's on the line? Your life's on the line. Are you going to just sit there and take it like you've been taking it every single day for however many years you've been taking it? Or are you going to get it and do something? Okay? I have people that have had cancer and they're like, I give up. Why would you give up? You're not dead yet. And then I got others that never gave up and they fought and won. And they fought and won. More people have fought and won today due to cancer, due to AIDS, due to diabetes, because they changed their life cycles. They did what it took because all of a sudden their life was on the line. That's motivation. And if you need that type of motivation, then do it. Why do Marines come back out of combat? Why do Army soldiers come back out of combat? Why? Let me tell you why. Because their life is on the line and they have to think now. They don't have anybody else telling them what to do. They have to get them and their buddies back. And they do every time. Now, sometimes we lose men, but you know what? We don't lose everybody. Why? Because some people just, it's not their fault, but they're protecting themselves. They're protecting the group. Okay, they jump on grenades, they take the bullets so we can come back home alive. That was their sacrifice. Their sacrifice was they cared more about us than we cared about ourselves. So they took a bullet, they took a roadside bomb, they took a grenade. Okay, and maybe everyday life we don't have to worry about those extraordinary circumstances. So when you're out there, maybe somebody else is trying to go a supervisor position and you can actually help them out a little bit and they get it. So you're taking one for the team to help your friend, right? But you really wanted that position, but they took it instead. But guess what? Your friend now knows that you helped them, and maybe the next position is what is the one that's for you. You have to do whatever it takes to get there, but sometimes you have to let other people go first, okay? Because if you don't, maybe you're not ready for the position yet. Maybe you think you're that terminal lance corporal who wishes they could be an NCO and you're just like mad at the entire world. But here's just it. You're mad at the entire world, which means you're not ready yet. We have to tell our kids sometimes, no, you can't drive until you're 16. No, you can't drive till you're 15. But oh, they're ready, but we put them behind the wheel, they're going to crash the car. I remember knocking down a couple mailboxes because I snuck the truck a couple times when my dad was gone. And I really much learned that I was not ready to drive yet. But when you no longer have your mentors there to help you, it means you are ready. It means you're ready to go. It means you're motivated. And now it's your turn to lead. It's your turn to teach. Find a mentor. Each and every one of you matter. Thank you for your time today. I appreciate each and every one of you. Each and every one of you deserve a medal because you're doing whatever it takes to get ahead in life. You're doing whatever it takes to put food on the table. You're doing whatever it takes. And you're trying to learn whatever it takes. Now, when I shut this video off, I'm going to turn it back on and we're going to go back to our books. We're going to read another page of a good one. I read a couple pages, but it depends on what you want to listen to. My name is Jeffrey Jansen. Each and every one of you matters. You may think I'm spontaneous and going all over the place, but believe it or not, it all connects. It all leads to one thing. Get motivated. Get what you want in life by helping enough other people get what they want in life. Zig Ziglar said that. Help enough people get what they want in life, and you'll get what you want in life. Start from the bottom. That's what we all do. We have to grow. If we're not ready yet, we can't move on. And if we try to move on, we're going to fail so bad, we're going to be right back where we were, and it's going to take even longer. Every day you need to push to get to that next level. Every day, whatever it takes, whatever you want, you can get if you just learn how to get it. My name is Jeffrey Jansen. Each and every one of you matters. I'll talk to everybody later. Have a good one. Bye, everybody.